Alright you guys, so we are back with another top 3 wireless mouse comparison. In today's video, we're going to be featuring the unreleased Pulsar XLite wireless, the Roccat Kone Pro Air, as well as the Ninjutsu Origin OneX. These three mice are somewhat similar since they're all ergo shapes. These are actually my current 3 favorite ergo wireless mice, which is going to be the theme of today's video. Last time we did 3 slightly ambi or symmetrical-ish mice other than the G Pro wireless, but obviously the Viper Ultimate and the Model wireless are all pretty symmetrical. The G Pro wireless isn't really, but all 3 of these mice are for sure ergonomic mice. They're all extremely comfortable to grip. This video is going to be geared toward medium to larger size handed people. My hands are 19.7 by 9 centimeters, so if you have hands similar to me, you may come across a lot of the same conclusions that I've come to with these mice. Now these 3, obviously this is not featuring the unreleased Model D wireless. Honestly, I don't really care about that mouse because
do look like I give a f. Do look like I give a f. I don't.
The original Model D, if you look at my review, I should probably redo it, but after I tried a few other mice in quick succession right after testing the Model D, I no longer liked it at all. I went back to it and I just didn't find it comfortable at all. So that's why the Model D is not included in this video, and it would not even be included in this list even if the wireless version was out. I just don't personally like the shape. If I'm gonna go for an EC shape, we might as well start off with the XLite wireless. This one is unreleased currently, so I don't currently have pricing available for you guys to give you a reference. But if this mouse is gonna be competing with the Origin OneX and the Kone Pro Air, I think that a fair price for this mouse will be between $80 and $100. So if it was like 90 bucks, I would say that this is definitely a really good recommendation, especially if you're going for a similar shape to like a Zowie EC mouse. This would be a very good pick. Now all 3 of these mice are pretty similar in the fact that they all use USB Type-C for their charging connector, so that's pretty nice. If you're looking at new technology wireless mice, it's really cool to see them finally using USB Type-C. The Roccat is a little bit more unique since it does also have dual connectivity, so you can either use a 2.4 gigahertz dongle that's included with all 3 mice. The Roccat is a bit special because it also features Bluetooth, so if you leave your dongle at home, use Bluetooth when you're out and about, you can use this on more than one device and leave your dongle at home, or you can just store it inside your mouse, which is pretty nice. So the Roccat does give you a little bit more flexibility, but I definitely would hope so since the Kone Pro Air is the most expensive mouse on the list at $130. With it being the most expensive, it is also the longest mouse and the widest mouse at 126 millimeters long and 72 millimeters wide. And speaking of which, it features no holes and it weighs in at 75 grams, so it is also the heaviest mouse on the list. Now the Ninjutsu Origin OneX, I will say that this mouse is a little bit better if you're looking for a smaller mouse than these other 2 mice, because these 2 are definitely going to fill out your entire hand if you have medium-sized hands. But if you're looking for something just a little bit smaller than both of these mice, this one is a nice in-between because it weighs in at about 65 grams and it is a bit smaller and narrower than the other 2 mice. So this one is quite nice to use. I could definitely see myself using this mouse if I had smaller hands. The XLite is going to be the tallest out of the other 2 mice, even though both of these are 40 millimeters tall. This one is 42 millimeters tall, so it is a little bit taller than these 2 and will fill out the top of your hand ever so slightly more. In terms of the sensors that all 3 use, the Kone Pro Air uses the 3370 sensor, the Origin OneX uses the 3335, and the XLite wireless also uses the 3370. The feet are definitely pretty good on all 3 mice, but I will have to give the advantage to the Kone Pro Air having these heat-treated PTFE feet. Now these feet are definitely some of the best in the game in my opinion. I've been using them for quite a while now, starting with the Burst Pro, now carrying on to the Kone Pro Air. I like these feet a lot. These are definitely some of the best feet, and I'm glad that since this is the most expensive mouse on the list, it definitely does have some of the best feet, but it does help it out a little bit more because it's also, again, the heaviest. Now, the weight difference between the 3, is it noticeable? Well, between the XLite wireless and the Ninjutsu Origin OneX, I'm gonna have to go with no, but between these 2 mice and the Kone Pro Air, I will have to say yes, but Roccat does a really good job at masking it because the heat-treated PTFE feet are so good and because it's just so comfortable in the hand. Like this mouse, I get an absolutely perfect claw grip with. I have pretty much no issues at all playing with this mouse. This is like my main Apex Legends mouse. I don't know why, but whenever I play Apex, I just do really well when I use the Kone Pro Air. No idea why again, but it just works. I can use all three of these mice pretty much to the best of my ability in game. These two mice, this one specifically, I do think that I do get a really nice claw grip as well with no issues there. But again, since I do prefer to have bigger mice in my hands, I do like to have both of these. But again, this is a really good option if you have a bit smaller hands. Maybe not really small hands, but maybe just a bit or a few centimeters shorter than my hands in either dimension. Now, in terms of the buttons on all three of these mice, so the Kone Pro Air is the only mouse on this list to use optical switches, is using the I think Owl optical switches that Rocket calls them. The other two mice do use KLGM 8.0s, which we all know are extremely crispy, and they also sound and feel really good. For whatever reason, the GM 8.0s on the Origin One X feel slightly stiffer than the clicks on the XLite. I don't know why, maybe it's just the difference between the batches and whatnot, but I will say that the XLite is still an early copy that I have to send back to Pulsar. But just something that I noticed, and mouse clicks are gonna feel different from mouse shell to mouse shell. This is mostly about comparing the shapes, the feel, the scroll wheel between the three. I will say that the scroll wheel on the XLite is the lightest of the two. The Origin One X and the Kone Pro Air both are a bit more on the stiffer end of the scroll wheel side. As far as the side buttons, I do prefer the side buttons on the XLite as well as the Kone Pro Air because they are quite a bit bigger than they are on the Origin One X. But the placement of the side buttons on the Origin One X is very good, and I don't have an issue hitting these at all. But I just like to see that my side buttons are noticeably bigger on the other mice, and they are also really easy to hit. But again, it does not hinder my gameplay of using the Origin One X because the side buttons are a bit smaller than the other two. Of course, again, the mouse is a little bit smaller, so it's not really that big of a deal. Now, in terms of controlling your different options available between these three mice, the Kone Pro Air and the XLite both have software. The Origin One X just has all your DPI controls built right in, so you just go ahead and swap your DPIs there, and that's pretty much it. Now, all three mice, since they're all wireless, all have on and off switches. The Kone Pro Air is the only mouse that has a storage compartment for your 2.4 gigahertz dongle. Now, talking about my experience using all three mice, so I do have a really strong preference to the Kone Pro Air between the three. Reason being, I just love the coating on the Kone Pro Air. It just feels really good. It's very grippy, but the coating on the Origin One X, on the black version at least, is noticeably grippier, but it's a little bit too grippy where it feels almost sandy. Now, the XLite does have a pretty decent coating. I don't really think it's anything to write home about, but it is very good. It is a bit more on the satin-ish side, and it's kind of similar to the Kone Pro Air, but not quite as grippy. If I had to rank all three of these mice in order from least to greatest, which I do in this case, I would definitely say that the Kone Pro Air is at the top because of the amount of features that it has, and it just really feels like a perfect claw grip. It is an extremely good ergonomic mouse, if you're looking for a very large ergo mouse that you can use for both gaming and productivity. The XLite I would have to put at the number 2 spot just because it has a slightly better coating on the Ninjaso Origin OneX. Now the thing about the Origin OneX, if you get the white version, I definitely noticed that the white version has a better, less matte coating than the black version. The black version is decent, but it's just a little bit too matte for me, but the white version does indeed feel extremely good, and I do like it quite a bit. But if you go with the black version, I just want you to know it feels a little sandy. Then that leaves the Origin OneX at the 3rd place spot, which honestly speaking is not bad. And in comparison to some other wireless ergo mice, well, you don't really have much competition in the wireless ergo space. I mean, you have the G502, which is, you know, pretty much twice the weight of all of these mice, and it's also a lot more complicated. You have to use Logitech G Hub to set up all those different combinations and all that stuff for your different macros and commands that you want to add to that mouse. And with that being said, I feel the G502 is just a little bit too complicated for what I'm looking for personally. Maybe what you guys are looking for as well, or maybe you just think it's a brick. And then we have the Model D wireless coming out, which really I don't like the regular Model D, so based on the shape, while I like the wireless version. And we also have the Logitech MX Master, which is pretty good, but it's not a gaming mouse, so it's only used if you're doing everyday tasks. But other than that, you're really not going to use the MX Master for gaming. And I'm pretty sure I'm missing maybe like one other wireless ergo mouse, but I can't think of any. I mean, these three I truly think in my heart are the heaviest hitters when it comes to wireless ergo mice, and you should consider one of these if you're looking for wireless ergo. Other than these, I really don't know what else I would say, but if you're looking for cheaper versions of the Kone Pro and the XLite, well, you can get the XLite for like 50 or 60 bucks on Amazon or Pulsar's website, and then the Kone Pro Air and the Kone Pro Air occasionally goes on sale for between $100 to $110 I've seen on Amazon. And then the regular Kone Pro is about $70 on Amazon. If you don't mind the wire, you can always just throw it in a mouse bungee, and the cable is really good on both the XLite and the Kone Pro. So if you don't want to spend a ton of money just for wireless, you do have options. You can go with the wired options that I will also have linked in the description below. And honestly, again, all three of these mice are just really, really good. I enjoy my time using all three of them, and you really can't go wrong with picking any of these three. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoy, feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel as well. If you guys want to see more comparison videos, definitely let me know what you want to see. Do you want to see more mice? Do you want to see some wired mice comparisons? If you do, give me like a top 3 that you guys think would be a really good and interesting comparison, and maybe I'll do it within the next few weeks. Maybe sometime in August I'll upload another one. Maybe we'll turn this into a monthly series where we compare 3 different mice. I don't know, could be interesting. I got a drawer full of mice, literally. I will catch you guys, gaming mice. I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you again for watching.